Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be making homemade bread. This is a Sunday ritual I started probably about 6 months ago and I haven't stopped since. Homemade bread is delicious and easy, especially in the bread maker. You will need a bread maker for this recipe, but nowadays you can find them pretty cheap on most websites. Amazon, you can find them cheap at Walmart. And they even make bread makers with gluten-free settings now. We're not using the gluten-free setting, but I'm going to tell you, once you try this basic bread recipe, you won't ever want regular bread again. Okay, so first off, what we do is these bread makers, if you're not familiar with them, they come with this little attachment paddle, and that just slides right in there to knead your bread, do all of the things you need to do with it, and it does it for you. So that just fits right in there. And the first thing we're going to add is 1 1/8 cup of just, this is a little bit over a cup. I'm going to add a little more after that, of room temperature water. I try not to use ice cold water because that tends to make the bread, it just gives it a different consistency, which we don't want that. The next thing we're going to add is some canola oil. I use this Star Organic brand, and we only use 1½ tablespoons. And we'll put that right in with our water. And one secret, depending on the manufacturer of your bread maker, most bread makers require you to put the liquid in first and then dry ingredients on top. Next, we're going to add our bread flour. I use the King Arthur, the unbleached. You can get this large, let's see, 10-pound bag at Sam's Club for a pretty good price. I can't remember what I paid for it, but I think it was only about $8. And we're going to use, let's make sure that's a cup. Yes, it is. And we're going to use 3 1/4 cup. It doesn't have to be a perfect measurement. I mean, you need to get it as close to a cup as possible, but I mean, if a little bit's missing off the top, you don't have to, you know, get the knife and scrape it off or anything. So that's 2. Here's 3. And a 4th. And I just eyeball my 1/4 of a cup. I've been cooking a long time, so I kind of just eyeball that to be a little less than half. And we'll go ahead and smooth that over the top. You don't want any liquid showing at this point. And next we need 1 tablespoon of the non-fat dry milk powder. And we'll just take this, and we don't want this mixing in with the wet ingredients either. So we kind of give it its little corner over here, and we'll keep it on that side of the pan. Next, what we need is just some, I use sea salt, and we're going to use 1 1/2 teaspoons. And again, you're going to put this in its own little corner, so we'll put it over here because we like to keep the ingredients separate until it starts doing its work automatically. Next, we're going to need 1 tablespoon of cane sugar. So we're going to go ahead and put that in its own little area. And right here, I know you can't see it, there's a little bit of water I can see on the surface. So I'm just going to put this one over here in this area. And lastly, what we need is the Rapid-Rise yeast. And this, I always use the quick rise in the bread machine because I feel like that's what most recipe books call for. And all you're going to need is a teaspoon of this. But first you have to make a tiny little well here to put the yeast in, but do not get any water in this well. Make sure it is fully dry. Go ahead and take a teaspoon of that, and we'll just pour it in that little well we made. Okay, and one of our last steps is to go ahead and take our little, I don't know what you call this, little container of all of our ingredients, and it just sits in here, and you kind of just push it down to make sure it's steady because it's going to do a lot of twisting and turning while this is working. And just push that down, and we'll go ahead and lid it, and I will show you which setting I use. Okay, now that I plugged my bread machine in, what we do is we're going to first go with crust color. My family likes a light crust. So we're going to make sure that little mark there is over the light. You could make it any way you like. If you like a more crusty bread, then you would go with the medium or dark. And the loaf size is corresponding up here. So that's already at 2 pound. We don't want that. We're making a small 1 pound loaf. That is what this recipe calls for. I can put in the comments below the 1.5 pound and the 2 pound as well. And that's going to take 3 hours and 13 minutes. So you want to start this early in your day if you're planning on having the bread at night. And then we're going to use the basic setting. There is a rapid setting on here. Let's see, the express bake 1 pound. Now, I heard you can do that. I've never tried it, and I don't want to mess up my bread. So I go with the basic. This only takes an hour. So I'm sure one of these days I will try that and see if it turns out exactly the same. But for now, we're going to use number 1, which the menu already has number 1. So we would have hit menu select if we needed to change that. And then we're just going to hit start. And it's going to start its magic. It's going to start mixing it all up, doing its work. And I'll let you know our final product when it's done. Okay, so while the bread is cooking, I decided to make a Sunday trip to Sam's Club because there are a few things I need. And I'm going to go ahead and walk through and show you what I get today. It is super busy for a Sunday. I guess it's summer. I mean, that can be expected, but sometimes I dread going into these stores when they're so busy. But let's see what I get while the bread cooks. Okay, so I'm back from Sam's Club and I'm going to show you guys what I got. It was so busy in the store that I would not even dare make a video in there. I started to, and people actually were rolling their eyes at me because I was taking too long, and they probably wondered, what is this crazy lady doing? So let's see what I got. First, I got these Perfect Bar Minis. Let me tell you, I cheated a little, and I was so hungry that I had one on the way home. Really good. I'm going to show you a snack that I do with these, with some rolled turkey and things like that, for like before bed, just for a high protein snack. But these, highly recommend. And they don't have a lot of sugar. They have a great amount of protein for as little as they are. They're like the perfect little sweet treat. Okay, next in the meat section, I got the honey roasted turkey breast, which our family loves. My cat even eats it. And he only eats the honey roasted, and my daughter as well. So we got that for easy snacking, easy sandwiches, and also I just like the plain oven roasted as well. Switch it up. I usually get 2 types of sandwich meat when I go for easy snacking, especially since it's summer. And my daughter's home and getting hungry at who knows what time at night. And I also got these Italian grilled chicken breasts, and I make a quick dinner with these, and I'm going to show you what I make with these tonight with the bread. The bread has about an hour to go, and I do a simple dinner. It's lower carb because the bread does have a lot of carbs, so I try to keep things on the lower carb side. So I'll do something with this chicken and green beans, and I'll show you that a little bit later. Okay, so this is my second time buying this. It's the Everything Crusted Cod. It's gluten-free if you need to be gluten-free, but it also, the carbs in it are not that high. It only has 20 grams of carbs, 15 grams of protein, low calorie. This fish is so good. I love it. You can serve it with a baked potato, something so simple. So I highly recommend this. I don't know how long they'll have it. I think they've had it for about 6 months, so maybe it's something they're going to carry for a long time. Next, I got their 2-pack of Mexican shredded cheese. This we use on tacos, we use it on fajitas. You know, my daughter could probably eat it by the spoonful, so I always get this. I was running low. And here's the pack of green beans that I always get. They are organic, which is great, and they're not that expensive. I think they're about $4.98 for this whole big bag, and honestly, this could feed you a couple of times. And I'll show you what I do with these a little bit later. Okay, more on the veggie side of things. I did get a pack of the organic whole carrots. They do have the baby cut organic there, but I tend to like these better. I think those baby carrots sometimes get slimy, and I think the taste of a regular carrot is just out of this world. It's so sweet, So all I do at night is I peel maybe one or two and I cut them up and then I dip them in ranch or something like that. And I know it's a little bit more work, but it's worth it to me because the flavor is much better. And these are actually cheaper. They're only $3.98 and the pre-cut baby carrots are $5.98. Then of course I get these mini peppers. They're greenhouse grown, and I'll use that at night. I'll use some carrots and chop these up and I'll dip them in ranch or hummus, which I'll show you I got. And that's a nice little high protein snack that can fill you up at night. And I also have these organic zucchini that I will either roast in the oven and use as a side dish. You could spiralize them for noodles, things like that. And these are seasonal, so I pick them up there when they have them. Since it's summer, my daughter is home all day and I do my work during the day, and I'm home, but I want to get a quick breakfast so I can get the work in and get it done. And that way I'm not taking time out to make a long breakfast and things like that, because a lot of times she'll just want cereal and I'll have to eat something quick. So lately I've just been eating a cup of yogurt, but I'm like, I really need something in the morning that's easy and quick. So I got this Catalina Crunch. It's the cinnamon toast and it's super good. It's high protein as well, low carb, and I love it. The only thing is I don't think it's cinnamony enough, so I get the Flavor God, and they have a cinnamon sprinkle, and I sprinkle it on top to add a little bit of extra cinnamon sugar flavor, and it is like no sugar, nothing in it, and that kind of gives it the cinnamon toast crunch flavor that I'm craving. I also get the La Banderita low carb tortillas. These are one of my favorite. They're very bendable and pliable, unlike some low carb tortillas I find, and they work perfect for everything from quesadillas to tortillas, or quesadillas, fajitas, soft tacos, you name it, they work well. I also got a bag of these Blue Diamond Smokehouse. These are new. They have a white cheddar. The Smokehouse was kind of calling my name. I'll probably get the white cheddar next time. These do have a lot of fat, and of course nuts do, and some, not that many carbs actually, only 2 grams of carbs. So to cut down on the fat, it's like 28 nuts for an entire 16 grams of fat. I'll really only take about 10 and put it in my little snack tray, and I'll add that with maybe some cold cuts and, you know, the veggies with ranch or anything, and I will use this as my nighttime snack. And I'll show you one of those videos. I'll make it a short or something to show you one of my snacks before bed. Next we have the on the go classic hummus little cups. I love these because you can take them on car rides, you could take them to the pool, you could take them to the water park, and you could snack on them. They have a good amount of protein. Let's see where it's at here. Oh no, they don't really. Well, 4 grams for an entire cup. And these are good with carrot sticks, the mini peppers I got, pita chips you could do low carb protein chips. There are just so many things that you can do with this little dip. And I think there are 16 cups in here and it's only $5.98, so that's not a bad deal. I also got the Chobani Zero Sugar Yogurt. It comes in cookies and cream, strawberry cheesecake, vanilla, and strawberry. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a video of this cheesecake, kind of cheesecake that I make, that's low sugar, low carb, high protein, and it tastes like cheesecake. It's not exactly the consistency of a cheesecake, but if you really think about it, it could be. So I usually make that with the, let's see, the Oikos French vanilla. And that just tastes like a vanilla cheesecake. But I thought, since I'm doing this, why don't I try different flavors of yogurt and see how it comes out? So I'm going to try some of these flavors, make a cookies and cream cheesecake, strawberry cheese. This is already has cheesecake flavoring, and I'm going to add more, berry, and I could just do all kinds of cheesecakes to snack on at night. Now this yogurt is just a staple in our house. It's the Oikos 000, and I find that these are perfect anytime. They have 0 sugar, lots of protein. They have 15 grams of protein per little cup. My daughter will even eat them with some granola. So I get these, and we're always running out of them within a week or two. I got these cheese crackers, these little snack packs, perfect for my daughter when she wants a snack, and also perfect for road trips, pool visits, same thing, water park, so that they're ready to eat. Just bring a nice pack and you're good to go. They are not high in calorie or anything. They're really small, but they fill you up. And they even have 7 grams of protein per little serving pack. So that's not bad. And they come in, one has pepper jack and Colby Jack cheese, and then the other just has mild cheddar and Monterey Jack. And can anyone guess which one my daughter eats? So I save all of the regular Monterey and Colby for her, and I take the pepper jack because she claims it's too spicy, but I disagree. I love spicy food. I got this Smokehouse Maple. It's the newest flavor in the Grill Mates. I think I have every Kinder's brand that Sam's Club has right now. They also have that other kind of like Mexican blend. I did not get that. I use this even on that pre-cooked chicken, and it kind of changes the flavor and it gives you this grilled flavor that you really did no work at all at home. So I collect seasonings. I love them. And this one, you could even smell it right here. It's this maple flavor, and I'm even gonna put this on the green beans, so I'll show you that in a minute. Next, they had a sample of this Bai, I think that's how you say it. This is the coconut variety pack. It comes with pineapple coconut, strawberry coconut, and just coconut. And let me tell you, for summer, amazing. I tried it and I wasn't planning on buying it because it's a little bit pricey. It was $20 for, how many did I get in here? 15. I guess it's not that bad, but sometimes you're trying to stay in budget. Then lastly, I got the Vita Zero. This is also a staple in our house. My daughter loves them. They are really, really well priced. They are only, that was a large truck that just went by. They have no sugar. They have strength, radiance, I don't know what that says, renew, and then it has all these vitamins, but 0 sugar, and it's also sweetened with, let's see, what does it have in it? Monk fruit and vitamins. So love these. These run out in my house all the time. And now that we went through that haul, we're going to see how the bread's doing. Okay, so while the bread is finishing up, I think it has 10 minutes, I'm going to show you how easy this meal can be. Right here I have those green beans I bought, and I'm just going to boil them, simmer them for probably 10 minutes to soften them up. That's an easy side right there. And on this pre-cooked chicken, even though it has a little bit of Italian seasoning on it, I'm still going to add my own. So I'm using the Smokehouse Maple, and let me tell you, when I open this, wow, the smell is unbelievable. So I am going to sprinkle this on this chicken, and I'm gonna be generous with it because I used to not use a lot of sprinkling of my seasoning, and you could barely taste it. So you have to be generous with seasoning. And I'm gonna go ahead and bake this for probably only 12 to 15 minutes, and then I'll show you the end result dinner. I'm also going to add a tiny bit of this Kinder's wing sauce and dip. It's the sticky honey barbecue. I'm just going to add a tiny bit of it to the chicken. Just kind of drizzle it on here to give it kind of a barbecue flavor, because sometimes I'll dip my chicken in A1. Oh, I got some coming out there. But today we're going to use the barbecue. And I'm also going to use this Smokehouse Maple. When these are done, I'm going to put some butter on them, sprinkle this on, and it's going to be magnificent. So let's cook this up, and then I'll plate it all, and I'll show you how the bread turned out. Okay, so the bread is finally done, and we're going to reveal what it looks like. Here it is, the top. The house smells so incredible right now. It smells like a fresh bakery. When you walk in, you just want to try every bit of bread they have there. This is a little bit of a fidget. You kind of fidget to get it out because this pan is very hot. We're going to go ahead and I'll show you how to turn it out. So we have our little pan here. Remember to always use an oven mitt because all of that is hot. we're going to go ahead and take 2 of them. We're going to go ahead and turn it over, kind of shake it out. And here's our beautiful loaf. Put that there. Go ahead and get a good shot of it. And we see that paddle is stuck in here. And when we start cutting it, it's got to cool a little bit before we cut. This metal paddle will come out once we get towards the middle. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut into this gorgeous loaf of bread. And I will take an end piece any day. Some people don't like the end piece, but I love it. Lots of steam coming out, so fresh. And there it is. Beautiful, hot piece of bread. I love it warm, fresh out of the bread man, even though it's not a bread man. They used to make bread man, just that was the brand, but that's an Oster. So put some butter on there. I can't wait to taste this. Okay guys, so here it is plated up. We have the chicken, a little bit of barbecue, and the smell in this kitchen, it smells like a barbecue restaurant. We got the green beans that I put that maple seasoning on, and I tossed them in a little bit of butter that helps the seasoning stick. These smell like something like green beans they'd serve at a barbecue steakhouse something. And then we have our delicious fresh baked bread. So all in all, a win. Easy, fun, and we have our whole loaf of homemade bread that we can use later in the week. And of course, I'm probably going to have another slice. Family will have a slice, and you can't beat it. So thank you for spending some time with me today. Please like and subscribe if you enjoy these videos, and I'll see you next time.